strap in, America, because the left has a PhD in playing whack-a-mole with our democracy, defined as their democracy. And their favorite mallet is labeled Nazi, Nazi, Nazi. Yes, that's right. Charlie Kirk, the human espresso shot of conversation, the guy who could debate you from everything from abortion to whether pineapple belongs on pizza. Answer, no. And he does so with a genuine smile. He gets murdered in cold blood while performing the crime of engaging with and debating youth on college campuses. One deranged lone wolf pulls the trigger, but let's be real, the left spent years piping fascist fumes into the air vents, turning their blue check NPCs into glitchy Terminators programmed to attack all of those fascist windmills out there. He's a bigot. He's a homophobe, a racist who probably kicks puppies while whistling Dixie, they screech. And suddenly every barista with a man bun feels like Captain America circle 1942, ready to do his duty to eradicate the fascist threat. Heroic? No, just hypnotized sheep chasing shadows and windmills, high-fiving each other for saving the Republic from a dude who once had the audacity to say Merry Christmas without an apology tour. Flashback to 2020, that glorious summer of mostly peaceful protests where BLM and Antifa turned cities into post-apocalyptic ruins. Molotovs for the aesthetic, billion-dollar damages for the vibes. And who was there? Not with a fire hose, but with a Venmo link and a private jet to Kenosha? Ho-ho, Kamala Harris, the leading Democrat candidate, the vice president. The border czar who couldn't find a wall with GPS tweeting, bail them out. I'm talking about, of course, the Minnesota Freedom Fund. She boosted it, raking in millions to spring folks charged with serious crimes. And then her star lands on Jacob Blake's front porch, the guy with a warrant longer than a CVS receipt for felony sexual assault, where she whispered sweet nothings about systemic injustice, like it was some dystopian romantic comedy. Who's buying a ticket to that one? Did the left condemn the riots? No, it was the language of the unheard. They justified them.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day. And that should be, everyone should take note of that on both levels, that this isn't, they're not going to let up, and they should not.
Meanwhile, the average American was terrorized, scared, and told that they were horrendous people for trying to deter the rioters. Then they tried to assassinate Trump. Not once, twice, and probably more that we don't know of. Now, do you think that the left had a moment of introspection and decide to collectively to tone down the Nazi rhetoric that I believe that the majority of people on the left believe is President Trump's first name? Nazi Trump, they would say. No, of course not. They double down because they're on the right side of history. They are the moral crusaders. They can do no wrong. Then in December, you have Luigi Mangione, the guy who got beat up by transgenders in Thailand. That recently came out in the New York Post, probably for not paying. And then going back to the States, Luigi again, and firing multiple bullets into United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson's back. Brutal. Vile? A cold-blooded hit on a guy whose biggest crime was a PowerPoint presentation on premiums. And the left response? Well, crickets from the corner offices, with Schumer and Jeffries mumbling something about general violence being bad. And if you squint at their press releases, that is, under a blacklight, it's pretty hard to find. And then you have AOC and Elizabeth Warren complaining about violence being insurance premiums for health that people can't pay. The real fringe of the left, they're out here commissioning murals of Luigi Mangione, toasting him with oat milk lattes like he's the new Che Guevara. And they say that Luigi, he was just sticking it to the man. That's what they coo, as if Thompson woke up that morning plotting to personally bankrupt orphans. Rewarded? Hell, it's a two-tier justice spa day. January 6th grandmas get SWAT teams and orange jumpsuits for a selfie stick, while Antifa goons waltz out of Portland precincts with slaps on the wrists and a free speech sticker. One side's insurrectionists, the others are Summer of Love poets. Pass the popcorn, please, because it's rather entertaining if you're looking at it from a neutral standpoint, which I'm not, by the way. And why do you think that they targeted Charlie? Because the man was a unicorn. Sharp as a tack and smooth as butter. And he cared. He genuinely cared about people. And that killer smile, disarming leftists like a summer sun that eventually melts ice. He wasn't yelling from a bunker. He was building actual bridges with charisma that could charm a vegan into trying a steak dinner. The left, they accurately saw the threat. He was the guy rallying Gen Z against their parade of pronoun policing and their equity grifts. Parasitical ideas? Kirk, my friends, was the antidote. And they knew it. Now, I'm not alleging some shadowy cabal with AOC passing notes about who to kill like it's middle school espionage day. I'm telling you that what they did was create the perfect petri dish of punts-a-Nazi fever dreams that they cultivated for years, nation and frankly worldwide. Violence, their love language. Excuses, it's their national anthem. Scroll X for their victory laps. One less grifter, they brag, from all the blue hairs who couldn't grift a free coffee. And that's just the idiots that are dumb enough to post it and maybe lose their job, because who would want to work with such a person? For every moron who went public with their glee, there are a silent 9 others nodding along, virtue signaling in their group chats. Good riddance to that smiley fascist. The left ain't a party. It's a cancer metastasizing through every institution, turning tolerance into tolerate my tantrums or else. Charlie was the antibody, young, telegenic, with the goodwill to eye the Oval like it was his rec room. Presidential timber, unfortunately chopped down before it could grow. And who's next on this unfortunate but guaranteed leftist hit parade? I'm going to tell you, I think it's Stephen Miller, the policy pitbull, the brains behind Trump's wall of you're not getting in, sorry, not sorry. Why? Because he's an easier mark with no fool Secret Service bubble wrap. Just a guy who looks like he bench presses briefing books. They've been slinging Nazi, fascist at him since the travel ban. Even after 2 squints at Trump, and now with Kirk's grave still fresh. Despise effectiveness? That's the left's kryptonite. Miller is out there architecting the deportation derby, and they can't meme their way out of that. So yeah, watch your back, Steve. The Windmill Warriors are unfortunately going to reload.